We are live.
Hello and welcome back to a new week. We hope you are enjoying the lessons. We hope you are taking these and discussing them as a family, and we hope you're watching them as a family. We hope you are liking and subscribing the channel and sharing it. See, he's proud of me. I'm getting used to this social media thing. So in today's episode, this week's episodes are going to be really interesting, because in this week's episode, we are going to be talking to you about simultaneously the hardest and the most transformative thing that we do here. Okay. Eating our peas. Okay. And even though I work in local food, I don't mean the actual peas, though fresh local peas are really pretty delicious.
So are lentils, but my mom's intolerant.
Yeah, it's true. And so eating your peas is the process we use for feeling your feelings. Now, Ben, what's your superpower?
Feeling my feelings. I learned that it was my superpower back in Maine on the way back from the ER.
Yeah, so we had gone through a pretty big crisis. We had gone through a pretty big crisis, and we had gone to
the second time
the ER for the second time for a psych eval on Ben
in the same year.
Yeah, it was not a great time, right?
No,
and
I was super scared. By the way, you like my shirt?
And what we were doing was, on the way home, is I was trying to help Ben the best way I know how. And the best way I know how to help my kids, the best way I know how to help myself, the best way I know how to help any human being on the planet cope with the life that they have
is
coaching. And the essence of the coaching that I do is all about feeling your feelings. And eating your peas is the process that I came up with to easily explain using an acronym. Okay, because I love acronyms.
Yeah, we've got water, we've got light, we've got strive. What else we got?
Peas, delight.
Delight.
Yeah.
So far 5.
I know. I do a lot of acronyms.
There are more coming, I believe.
Probably. And so what? The reason I came up with the acronym of eating your peas is because I have so many people who come to me and are like, "Oh my God, what do I do? How do I change? How do I change my thinking? What do I have to do?" Okay. And the process that we are going to talk about is the process I teach them to change their lives. And it is through feeling their feelings. Okay. So now the P in peas stands for physical. All right, Ben, why don't you explain what I mean by that?
Physical is material, like made of matter. You can touch it, it's solid. Or as we observe it to be solid.
Right.
I mean, air is material.
Air is not really material. Okay, and relevant? So no, not really. But so
also I think part of the physical part is, are you physically safe?
Right. So we're going to learn that in Strive. Okay. So physical means where in your body, where in your physical body, where is the physical sensation of the feeling?
Well, first we need to identify the feeling.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We see
transcending colon.
Right. So the thing is that when we talk about coaching and feelings worth, everybody's like, you got to feel your feelings. All right, I have news for you. Your body is not here to carry around your head. You know where you feel your feelings? In your body. Now, we have a lot of anatomy lessons here, and Ben tends to feel his feelings in his
transcending colon.
Transverse.
Sorry.
Transverse. Okay. He carries his feelings in his gut. A lot of people carry their feelings in their gut. Okay.
It's called a gut sensation.
Yes, exactly. All right. So you've got to find when something intense is going on, what I want you to do, okay, is I want you to feel it in your body. Okay. That means you got to get out of your head. You got to drop in your body. All right. If you are having trouble doing that, I want you to do a body scan. I want you to start at your jaw and your throat. Does it feel like it's tightening or closing or calming down? Okay. A lot of times once you feel in here, then you can move on. What do you think?
I think that is also true. I was having a moral dilemma earlier today.
What was that?
About what is life? I was like, you only see through one perspective. What's it like from other people's perspective? I mean, there's empathy, but that doesn't show you. That doesn't put you literally seeing through their eyes. Maybe maybe I'm the only living person. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that you guys shouldn't be alive, but
maybe they're not. Maybe none of us are alive. Okay. And so what you just saw is a demonstration of what happens when we have intense feelings and we try and find them in our bodies. We run back to our heads. Okay. This happens all the time, right? We have intense thoughts. Okay. And we try and find them in our body. Okay. And we then run into our heads and come up with, oh, look, a squirrel. Okay. This happens all the time. All right. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to do the body scan. You're going to look for tightness in your jaw and in your throat. And a lot of people feel like tightening in the chest. This is not like you're having a heart attack level of tightening. Okay. Hopefully.
I mean,
all right. Then you're going to feel in your chest for it. Okay. And a lot of the time this takes some breathing and it takes some conscious effort to drop into your body.
That what my mom just said was what I was going to say, but deep breathing, that helps.
It does. It really does.
I was escalated after I came home from school. I do remember what, but that's not the point.
Oh, it was over what happened this weekend. So
anyway, I just went back and I didn't go back into my body, but I did. I was lying down on a pillow and took some deep breaths. Sorry, I got the hiccups.
Right. So you're going to take some deep breaths. Okay. And that draws the energy into your body. Then I want you to feel your stomach. Do you tend to carry your feelings in your stomach? I carry all of my anxiety in my belly. Okay. Feel your belly and then try and feel below your belly button. Okay. This can often be really difficult with people. All right. Much more difficult with adults than it is with kids. Especially if you have a history of trauma.
So mom says you have a history of trauma. I've got a history of trauma. 3 ER visits, that's 4 ER visits. 2 medical, 1 from a 14-year-old month burn on the chest, which is what I'm gonna go for right now. So I had a chronic burn.
He didn't have a chronic burn. He got burned. He grabbed my cup of tea and poured it on him when I was pregnant with Molly.
I'm still figuring out what the word chronic means. So
right. That's okay. He had an acute burn, which is the opposite of chronic. He had an acute burn and he spent a couple of days in the burn unit as a 15-month-old.
Yes. And now, now that I'm talking about it,
right?
I feel intense emotions in there and it does it swell? I think it's swells.
It doesn't swell, but what he does is he feels a lot of his intense emotions in here.
And I rub my chest.
Right? And so that gets us into kind of the next part of eating your peas. Once you discover where in your body you feel the sensations of your intense emotions, the next thing to do is the E is name the emotion. Okay. I highly recommend a feelings wheel for this. You can just Google feelings wheel. They're free. I have it on my phone. I look at it all the time and there's no doing a feelings wheel perfectly. You pop the feelings wheel in front of you, you read it and you pick the emotion that stands out.
We'll link one in the description below.
In the notes. Yeah, well, that's a great idea. Okay. And then finally, what you do when eating your peas is you look at the activity, the actions of your body. All right.
Back to naming your emotions. The way me and my mom's brain work is we literally named them. My mom's got
Helena,
Mama Bank. You've already heard of her. Well,
I don't know if they've heard of Mama Bank in these videos, but Mama Bank is my future best friend. There. So Ben, what I want to say is,
I have Phil and the Balrog.
Right.
Has any of you seen Lord of the Rings?
Right.
That Balrog.
That Balrog is kind of like the personification of all the negative emotion. Right?
And then Phil was sort of the you cannot pass.
right? So
Something like that.
Phil is the name of the anxiety, right? And my, I've got a couple of like kind of favorite emotions that come in, and one is the despair of it's all going wrong. Okay, it's all going to hell in a handbasket, and
Helena.
that's who I call Helena. I feel Helena a lot. Okay, and so when you name your emotions, all right, look at your a feelings wheel, all right, and do what feels comfortable. Okay. Then next is your actions. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story. Ben had a really kind of rough semester, all right, and one of the reasons we're sitting here is because we figured so much out this semester with Ben, okay, and we wanted to bring all of this to you guys. Yeah, I think of things in semesters, and
My
so
mom's weird.
his mom's been to a lot of school, and so Ben he'd had a really pretty epic meltdown, like a really epic, not good meltdown, and he was usually one of the things that helps him get back into his body after a meltdown is to take a shower, which is true of a lot of people. Okay, a lot of us like complete stress cycles or like get back to ourselves by being in the shower. Okay, which is why a lot of people do it in the morning, because there's like a lot of like we lose a lot of the
emotional regulation we bet.
Right, when we sleep. Okay, and a lot of people wake up emotionally dysregulated, and taking a shower can really, really help. Okay, and so he had gotten in the shower, and I was talking to him, okay, and he started rubbing his chest, and he did it in a V motion, okay?
Like what I do like this.
Right, and
you see me do it every episode,
right? And I looked at Andrew and I was like, he just rubbed his burn. Now Ben is going to be 12, or is by the time you see this, Ben is 12. He got this burn when he was like 15 months old, 14, 15 months old.
14 months old.
Okay. The burn isn't there anymore, but his body remembers. Okay. And this comes to my first book recommendation. Okay.
The body keeps the score.
Right. This is an amazing book by a Dr. Vanderkook out of, he's out of Mass General in Boston.
I've not read it, and I thought my brain isn't ready.
He doesn't need to read it. One, he's 12, and two, it's super obvious in Ben that his body keeps the score. He has a massive reaction to a sunburn. Okay.
Yeah.
If he gets sunburn, I know within the next hours we're going to have a complete and total meltdown.
Yeah, like in Port Clinton. That's what I remember.
We went when we on spring break.
Yeah, I got a burn like everywhere. I might be a small one right now, but I had a small meltdown.
I wouldn't call it a small meltdown. We had a pretty epic meltdown, right? And so, and this is what happens. And what I want you to start noticing is I want you to start noticing the physicality of your kids, the actions of your kids. Okay, when they are feeling intense emotion. All right. That's how you learn how to do this. And when things are, it's easier to practice when things are not super intense. Okay. So your kid comes home from riding their bike outside, or being with a friend, or reading a book might be a really good way. I know a lot of people who listen are readers, and we are big readers around here, but books can really amp us up, right?
Big readers, like big readers. This is besides what book I've read.
Right. And so I want you to work with your kids and say, where do you feel that feeling in your body? You've got to practice this on your own, then naming the emotion, and then just watching what their hands are doing, what their body is doing.
This brings us to our second book recommendation, Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. It is intense, which is why it's perfect. It helps you just, I think, if I remember correctly, I was rubbing my chest while I was reading this.
Right.
And it'll help you get this for your kids if they're readers, and maybe you'll see one or more of their stress reactions.
There you go. So that's what we've got for you in this lesson. Next lesson, what we're going to do is Ben and I are going to describe that. We're going to go through this process ourselves, and we're going to describe it. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We love you all. Like and subscribe.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
links in the description below for the feelings wheel.
There you go.